This conference will now be recorded.
Hello. Good afternoon to all the students. I welcome you all to today's Dravyaguna class, theory class. I hope you all are doing well, and I also hope that you have not become lazy in this lockdown period. It is very necessary to keep up your energy very high so that your education or your studies are continued, right? Now, today I had already sent you the PowerPoint of today's class. So I hope you all have gone through that. Today we shall study 3 drugs. One is Chandana, then Rakta Chandana and Dadima. So these 3 drugs we are going to study today. So Chandana Dvaya, it is called as Chandana Dvaya, both Shweta Chandana and Rakta Chandana. They have been mentioned in the classics together. So the first drug is Chandana. The botanical name is Santalum album, which belongs to the family Santalaceae. In Hindi, it is called as Safed Chandan. English, it is called as sandalwood. And in Telugu, it is called Tella Chandanam. Then in most of the languages, it is called as Chandana. And in Gujarati, it is called as Sukhada. And Kannada, it is called as Sri Gandha, or it is also called as Gopi Chandan. The synonyms, if you see the synonyms, it has got the synonyms like Gandha Sara. So Gandha Sara means the heartwood of Chandana, which is the useful part. It is having Gandha, a very aromatic smell. And Malayaja, because of its habitat, the Malaya mountains, Malaya regions, is the natural habitat for Chandana. Then Shri Khanda, it indicates again the aromatic smell and the auspicious nature of this plant. That is, it is used during puja for God. Okay. Then Maha Arsha again indicates the auspicious nature. Shweta Chandana, because of the color of the wood. If we compare Shweta Chandana and Rakta Chandana, Shweta Chandana is comparatively having lighter color when compared to Rakta Chandana. Rakta Chandana is darker. It is having dark red color, whereas Shweta Chandana is having yellowish brown to light brown color. Then Bhadra Shriya again indicates the hard nature of the heartwood and also the auspicious nature of the plant. If we see the classification of the drug in our Samhitas, in what all ganas it has been mentioned, Acharya Charaka has mentioned it in Daha Prashamana Gana, Angamarda Prashamana Gana, Trishna Nigrahana, Varnya, Vishagna and Kandugna Ganas. So if you see the ganas, in most of the cases, Chandana is a drug which mainly acts as Pittahara. So it is mentioned in Daha Prashamana Gana. Then Trishna again is a symptom of Pitta. So it is Trishnahara. Then Varnya, as we all know, the type of Pitta which runs in our skin, it is Bhrajaka Pitta, which potentiates our skin or which keeps or maintains the health of our skin. So because Chandana acts on Pitta dosha, it is also having Varnya property. Then Vishagna and Kandugna, again because of its anti-toxic properties. Then when we see the classification mentioned in Sushruta, it is mentioned in Shalasaradi Gana, Sarivadi Gana. Sarivadi Gana is one Gana which contains all aromatic plants. Karpura is there, Sariva is there, this Chandana is there. So all different aromatic plants come under this Gana. And since Chandana, you all know, you have also taken the fragrance of Chandana. It is an aromatic drug. So it is there in Sarivadi Gana. Then Patoladi. Patoladi is one such Gana which contains drugs which act on skin. So in most of the skin disorders, it is used. So Patoladi, Chandana is an ingredient in Patoladi Gana, Priyangvadi and Guduchadi. Then when you go to the classification mentioned by Vagbhata, it is mentioned in Asanadi, Patoladi, Sarivadi, Priyamvadi and Guduchadi. Now coming to the history of the drug. It is an aromatic drug which has been mentioned both for external and internal usage. Okay, so we know that Chandana Mani Dharana is there. So they make crystals of Chandana, and this is said to be Varchasya and Ayushya. Varchasya means the one which improves the complexion, and Ayushya, you all know, the one which improves the longevity, right? Then you know that Chandana is used for external application in the form of lepa. So now we are facing Grishma Ritu, intense heat. And when you see the Grishma Ritu Charya, you have all studied the Ritu Charya. So in Grishma Ritu Charya, there is mentioning of Chandana lepa, isn't it? So Chandana, because of its Shita Virya, it soothes the skin, especially in hot seasons. And many of us, we use Chandana in face packs, right? And Haldi Chandan soap is available. Patanjali manufactures Haldi Chandan soap. So in all ways, Chandana is very good for your skin. Okay, so when we see Bruhatrais, mainly we come across two varieties of Chandana. One is Shweta Chandana and the other one is Rakta Chandana. Okay, but when we see Nighantus, we come across many different types of Chandana. In Dhanvantari Nighantu, we come across 5 types of Chandana. One is Chandana, then Rakta Chandana, then Kuchandana or Patranga, which is Cisalpinia pulcherrima. Then the 4th one is Kaliyaka and the 5th one is Barbarica. Okay, Shodala Nigantu, it mentions 8 varieties. Then Kayadeva Nigantu mentions 6 varieties. Then based on color, again Kayadeva Nigantu mentions 3 varieties, that is Rakta Chandana, Pita Chandana and Pandu Chandana or Shweta Chandana. Okay, Bhavaprakash Nigantu mentions 4 varieties which are mainly considered when we come across Chandana. That is Chandana, Rakta Chandana, Kaliyaka or Pitta Chandana and Kuchandana or Patranga, which is Cisalpinia species. Raja Nigantu mentions 6 varieties. So I have, as I told you already, today morning I have given you the PowerPoint. So in that one slide depicts all the different varieties of Chandana mentioned in the classics and Nigantus. So please go through that. And it is necessary to remember at least 2 varieties, that is Shweta Chandana and Rakta Chandana. Again, in Shweta Chandana, we have 2 varieties, Veta and Sukwadi. Okay, so Sukwadi indicates that it is a dry variety. It produces excess dryness on the skin, whereas Veta is a wet variety, right? Now, when we see different formulations in which Chandana has been mentioned in our classics, Nigantus and also in Samhitas, it is usually seen that Shweta Chandana is used for the preparation of Churna, Taila, Asava and Lehyas, while Rakta Chandana is used for Kashaya and Lepas. So whenever you are considering Chandana for external application, it is better to go for Rakta Chandana. And whenever you want to use Chandana for internal usage, then it is better to use Shweta Chandana. But there are some exceptions, like if you want to prepare a kashaya out of Chandana, you have to use Rakta Chandana. But if you want to prepare Churna or Taila or Asava or Leha, then you have to go for Shweta Chandana. So this is an important thing you need to remember because it helps you practically. Suppose you want to work in a pharmacy or you open your own pharmacy and you want to prepare Chandana Bala Lakshadi Taila or Chandana Di Taila, then you need to know which Chandana you have to choose, right? Then coming to the botanical description, I hope you all have seen Chandana plant. It is there in our botanical garden. It is a small or a medium-sized tree with slender branches. It grows almost up to 18 meter high. Then the bark is dark gray or nearly black or reddish. Then when you see the sapwood and heartwood, so I have many times told in a practical class how to differentiate sapwood and heartwood, right? So there are some differences, like sapwood is usually light in color and heartwood is usually darker in color. The reason being, in heartwood you find the deposition of secondary metabolites which are produced in the plant body. So when you see chandana, the sapwood of chandana is unscented and whitish yellow in color. I have given you the picture, the morning, whatever PowerPoint I have sent. In that, the wood cross section is there. So you can see in that the outer layer is lighter in color, whereas the inner layer is darker in color. Okay, that is because the deposition of tannins, sesquiterpenes, phenols, all those secondary metabolites is found in the middle heartwood. Okay, that is why the heartwood is a portion which we use, and this portion is having a very aromatic smell. Then if you see the heartwood, the color is yellowish brown to dark brown, right? And the leaves, you have all seen the leaves. The leaves are elliptic, oblong in shape, and they're glabrous. They are smooth. The surface you can feel it is smooth. The flowers are in axillary and terminal paniculate, brownish purple in color. I hope you all have seen the flowers, or sometimes they are straw colored, and the fruit is a drupe. When the fruits are raw or young, they are greenish in color, and when they are ripe, they turn blackish in color. Okay, so you can always appreciate the colors of the fruit. Then coming to the distribution, chandana is a plant which grows in dry forests, especially the Vindhya mountains. So the synonym I told you, Malayaja is a synonym of chandana, and Malaya region indicates Vindhya mountains, and especially Karnataka and Tamil Nadu is the habitat for chandana plant. That is why you all know about Veerappan. So Veerappan, he was a what you call thief who used to cut these chandana trees and export them, smuggle them, in fact. So he resided in Tamil Nadu, right? So Karnataka and Tamil Nadu are the habitats for chandana. So why I mentioned Veerappan is this will help you to remember the things when you're writing the exams, right? Then coming to the properties. So as you all know, chandana is a bitter drug, tikta dravya. Okay, all tikta dravyas, you know, the best rasa for pittahara action is tikta, right? So chandana is having tikta rasa. Along with tikta, it is also having slight madhura rasa. It is having shita virya, lagu ruksha guna, and katu vipaka. If you see the karma, the main doshas on which chandana is going to act is kapha and pitta, right? Then because of its kapha and pittahara action, it also acts as varnya and daha prashamaka, right? And it is mainly indicated in pitta disorders, all different types of pitta disorders, like you say daha, jwara, then kapha pitta disorders like pushta, visarpa, that is erysipelas, and even in acute conditions like herpes simplex. You must have heard of herpes simplex. So chandana is the drug of choice in herpes simplex. It is such a condition wherein even the allopathy has no answer, right? So there is no antiviral drug for herpes. So in such condition, chandana, ushira, such drugs are going to help a lot to the patient. It will instantly reduce the burning sensation of herpes rashes, and it also helps to increase the immunity of the patient, because Chandana, that is Santalum album, is having immune modulator action. So it will help to resolve the condition very quickly. Then Kandu, for that also Chandana is a very good drug. You can also apply as a lepa, wherein there are skin rashes, especially red in color, lot of burning sensation or pricking sensation is there. In such cases, you can definitely apply Chandana lepa. Then Trishna. So it is one of the Pitta predominant conditions wherein Chandana as a drink can help, definitely. Then Rakta Pitta is another condition wherein Chandana is going to act very well, because it will also act as Stambhaka. Okay, Chandana, it will act as Pittahara and also as Stambhaka. So it will help in reducing the bleeding or stop the bleeding. Right. Then coming to the therapeutic uses of Chandana. In all different types of prameha, Chandana is very useful, right? So especially there are two types of Chandana, prameha, wherein Chandana has been indicated. One is Shukrameha and the other one is Manjishta Meha. In Shukrameha, the decoction of Arjuna and Chandana can be used, and in Manjishta Meha, the decoction of Manjishta and Chandana can be used. So this is easy to remember, right? Then Chardi, another condition which is due to Kapha and Pitta. You must have studied the pathology of Chardi. It is mainly due to Kapha and Pitta doshas, right? So in Chardi, Chandana can be given along with Amalaki Swarasa. This combination is very good for reducing Chardi. Then in Pradara, Shweta Pradara, you can give Chandana along with Kshira, Ghruta, Sharkara and Madhu. Okay, so apart from this, we have many formulations of Chandana which have been which are being used very frequently. Like for example, we have Chandanasava, which is very frequently used in Pitta predominant conditions, like as I told you earlier, herpes simplex. Then in excessive daha, like burning sensation all over the body, especially in urinary tract disorders where there is burning micturition. Then in there is a very peculiar condition wherein Chandana is going to help a lot, that is pre-menopausal syndrome. You all must have heard of this condition. It is a time just before menopause in ladies who are aged 45 to 48 years. So this is a condition wherein a lady is going to suffer from hot flushes. She gets mental irritation. She is disturbed. There are psychological symptoms. There is irregular bleeding, and she is very irritated. So in such cases, Chandana is going to help a lot. It reduces hot flushes. It acts as a soothing agent. Okay, so if you see all these symptoms of premenopausal syndrome, they are mainly due to Pitta, and Chandana is going to help a lot in this. Chandana, Sariva, and even Dhanyaka. You can also try Dhanyaka di Hima in this condition, right? So these are the Amayika Prayoga of Chandana. Then coming to part used. So the part used, as I mentioned earlier, it is heartwood, okay, which contains the main active principles. And apart from heartwood, we also use the volatile oil separated from the heartwood. Okay, Chandana Taila, the volatile oil separated from heartwood is also available. So this is also used. If you see the dosage, the powder dosage, churna, it should be used in the dosage of 3 to 5 gram. Okay, and the decoction should be used at a dose in the dosage of 50 to 100 ml. Okay. Then important preparations of Chandana. One I have already told you, Chandanasava. Then Chandanadi Taila is there. Chandana Bala Lakshadi Taila is there. Then Chandanadi Ghruta is there. Then Chandana powder is used as lepa, that we all know we use in face packs, preparation of soaps, and even sandalwood fragrance perfumes are available. and these are also liked by many people, right? So lastly, I would like to tell major chemical constituents of chandana. So it contains main constituent of chandana is tannin. Okay, then phenols. Apart from tannins, it contains phenols and sesquiterpenes. Okay, so many of the many of the pharmacological actions mentioned for chandana are mainly due to this sesquiterpenes and phenols, right? Apart from that, it is having alpha and beta xanthanol, xanthines, then xanthalic acids that is present in sandalwood oil, then palmitone, xanthalic acid. These are the different chemical constituents of chandana, right? Then coming to the major research updates. So in what all fields chandana has shown its action. Chandana has a wide action. So not only the action starts from antibacterial and it ends up to anti-cancerous effects. So wide range of activities have been recorded for chandana. It is also having anti-diarrheal effect, and this effect is because of its antispasmodic effect on the ileum. So chandana extract was tried on the isolated ileum, that is intestine of rats, and it is having spasmolytic effect on that, right? So in this way it tries to control diarrhea, and it is also having antibacterial action, it is having immune modulator action, and yeah, these are the main actions of chandana, right? So then we will move on to the next drug, that is Rakta Chandana. As I told you, when we speak of Chandana Dvaya, Shweta Chandana and Rakta Chandana come to our mind, and these are the two majorly used drugs. Okay. So Rakta Chandana, it belongs to a different family. The botanical name is Pterocarpus santalinus. It belongs to the family Fabaceae, Papilionaceae or Fabaceae. It is a pod family, right? Vernacular names in Hindi, it is called as Lal Chandan. In English, it is called red sandalwood. In Telugu, it is called Erra Chandanam. Okay. And in Malayalam, it is called as Tilaparni, right? When you see the synonyms of chandana, it is having the synonyms like tilaparna. The leaves of chandana are similar to the leaves of tila, sesamum. But this synonym holds good more to Shweta Chandana rather than to Rakta Chandana. Because in photos you can see that Shweta Chandana leaves are elliptic oblong, whereas Rakta Chandana leaves are somewhat ovate with E-shaped margin. Apex is E-shaped. Okay. So this Tilaparni synonym holds good more to Shweta Chandana. Then it is having a synonym Rakta Sara. Sara is the heartwood and Rakta indicates the color, right? So the heartwood is red in color. Ashukla Chandana again indicates the Chandana which is not Shukla, which is not white. And Rakta Vruksha, because I have put a picture in the PowerPoint. If you just scratch the bark, there is a red colored ooze coming out of that bark. Okay, so Srava is there. Because of that, it is called Rakta Vruksha. Okay, not only because of the heartwood which is red in color, also because of the ooze, red colored ooze which comes out on scratching the bark, the drug is called is having the synonym Rakta Vruksha. Then if you see the tree, it is a very big tree. It grows to a height of 15 to 30 feet and possesses yellow colored flowers. Okay, it grows mainly in the eastern areas like Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, and it has been described by Brihatrais As I told you earlier, Bruhatra is mentioned 2 types of Chandana, Shweta Chandana and Rakta Chandana. Okay. Then apart from that, Pita Chandana is there or Kaliyaka is there. Then Patranga or Kuchandana is there. Right. When we see the classification of Rakta Chandana in various classics, Acharya Charaka has not mentioned Rakta Chandana directly in any Gana. Right? Acharya Sushruta has mentioned it in Patoladi, Sarivadi and Priyangvadi Gana, whereas Acharya Vagbhata has mentioned it in Patoladi Gana. So just before going to properties, I would like to mention one important thing. See, the botanical name of Rakta Chandana is Sterocarpus santalinus, and the botanical name of Asana is Pterocarpus marsupium. So how do you differentiate these two plants? This is very important. So in case of Asana is a very big tree. It grows up to a height of 30 feet. Whereas Rakta Chandana, it is somewhat smaller. It grows up to a height of below 30 feet, not 30 or above. Okay. And in Rakta Chandana, the leaf is trifoliate. Okay. You can find 3 leaves, or sometimes, very rarely, you will find 5 leaves. Right. Whereas in Asana, you will always find 5 to 7 leaves, which are imparipinnate. It is compound leaf. You will always find 5 to 7 leaves, right? And when you see the bark, Rakta Chandana bark is crocodile bark. Okay, whereas in Asana, you will only find longitudinal serrations, longitudinal furrows and serrations, right? Whereas in Rakta Chandana, it is crocodile bark. Right. So these are some of the differences. Now coming to the properties of Chandana. As Chandana, both Shweta Chandana and Rakta Chandana, they are having Tikta and Madhura Rasa. The main rasa is Tikta, and along with Tikta we have Madhura Rasa. Then Shita Virya, Guru, Ruksha Guna, Kattu Vipaka. And because of these properties, again, it is Kapha Pittahara. Because of Shita Virya, it is Pittahara. Because of because of Lagu, Ruksha Guna and Kattu Vipaka, it is Kaphahara. Then along with this, it is having Chakshusha and Vrishya property. It is good for eyes, and it is also good for the male reproductive system, Vrishya. Indications, it is mainly indicated in Rakta Pitta, Bhrama, Jvara and Daha. Then coming to the therapeutic usage, Amaika Prayoga, Rakta Chandana, in case of Timira is blindness. Okay, so there are different kinds of blindness, different causes for blindness. So a blindness which can be treated, in such blindness, Rakta Chandana is grinded with water, honey, ghee and oil and applied as anjana, collyrium, and this has to be done for 7 days. Right. Then in Atisara, as I told you, Chandana is having anti-diarrheal activity, right? So for Atisara, the powder of Daruharidra, then Duralabha, Bilva, Balaka is Ushira, and Rakta Chandana. So all these powders, they have to be mixed with honey and given orally. Okay, so if you see, all these are drugs are having Tikta and Kashaya Rasa. Both Tikta and Kashaya Rasa are having Drava Shoshana property, so they act in Atisara, and Tikta is a very good Pittahara drug, and Atisara is mainly due to Pitta and Kapha doshas. Right? Then coming to the part used, it is heartwood again, as we saw in Shweta Chandana, even in Rakta Chandana, the useful part is heartwood. And as the name itself indicates, the heartwood is very dark red in color. Okay, heartwood of Rakta Chandana is dark red in color. So if you see the PowerPoint, you can see that the heartwood has been shown in that, and even the pieces of Rakta Chandana have been shown. So they are having dark red color. Then coming to the dosage, it can be used in the dosage of 3 to 6 grams. And most important formulations are Pushyanuga Churna. So Pushyanuga Churna is a very important formulation which we generally use to treat Pradara, especially Shweta Pradara and Rakta Pradara. So all drugs mentioned here are mainly having Kashaya Rasa, like Amrasti is there. Okay, this Chandana is there. So this helps in Stambhana. Kashaya Rasa, as you all know, is having Stambhana property, and Chandana is going to potentiate this action. Then another formulation is Lakshadi Ghruta. Okay, Laksha is having a very good healing property. It is mainly used in Vrana, wounds, and also in fractures. Okay, Lakshadi Ghruta. Then Trifaladi Ghruta is another important formulation wherein Rakta Chandana is an ingredient. Then Priyangvadi Niruhabasti is there. Then Bhadrashriyadi Gana. Bhadrashri is again Chandana. So there are many aromatic drugs mentioned in this Gana. Okay, and these are mainly used in Raktaja Vyadis, Pittaja and Raktaja Vyadis, especially Rakta Pitta, Pushta, okay, then Kandu, Visarpa. So in such conditions, Bhadrashriyadi Gana drugs can be used. Now lastly, coming to the research updates, the alcoholic extract of Rakta Chandana, it has been shown to produce depression in mice. So it has the potential to depress the central nervous system. Then it also has shown protection against electric shock. Okay, so there is something called induced response. Like there was one experiment which was mentioned. Some rats were kept in a cage and they were given electric shock. Okay, so just before giving electric shock, there was some signal like blinking of some light or some sort of sound, and that was followed by electric shock being given to the rat. And after some time, when this experiment was repeated, after some time the rats got conditioned to that reflex. Okay, so later what happened, as soon as they saw the light blinking or as soon as they heard the noise, they started getting afraid that they are going to get the shock. Okay, so this is called heat shock response, and Chandana was able to inhibit, or it was able to prevent this heat shock response. That means that it is going to depress your nervous system. Okay, it is going to bring about depression. This is an interesting experiment, right? Then it also has shown anti-inflammatory property in carrageenan-induced edema in rats. So carrageenan is a chemical which is used to produce inflammation in rats. It is injected to the rat paw. Okay, and after injecting carrageenan, there will be inflammation. There will be swelling, redness, and the rats cannot stand up or they cannot walk. Right, there will be signs of inflammation can be seen after injecting carrageenan, and in such case Chandana was administered to the rat and it was found that inflammation got reduced by the effect of Chandana. Right, so in this way Rakta Chandana is also having anti-inflammatory property. Right, so this is about Chandana drug. Now we have completed Shweta Chandana and Rakta Chandana, two drugs, right? So another thing I want to mention, at the end of the class, I'm going to ask 3 members to repeat whatever you have studied today. So I'm going to randomly call you up to narrate, okay? So each student has to narrate one drug. right? Now the third drug is Dadima. Dadima, you all know, Dalimbe Hannu, isn't it? Pomegranate. The botanical name is Punica granatum of family Punicaceae. In Hindi, it is called as anar. In English, pomegranate. In Telugu, it is called as Danimmakai. Then in Marathi, it is called as Dalimba. Right? It is having many interesting synonyms. One is Phalamla. Okay. Actually, Dadima is having, there are two types of Dadima depending on the rasa, and one among that is Amla. And because of that, it is having the synonym Phalamla. It is having sour taste, right? Then Kuttima. Kuttima is an interesting synonym which indicates that it has to be, we have to break open it. It will not dehisce on its own, right? So you all know there are two types of fruits. One is dehiscent and the other one is indehiscent. Okay, so this is one among the indehiscent fruits which is having a very hard outer rind, and you have to apply pressure to open it, break open it. So that is why it is called as Kuttima, right? Then it is called Phalas Shadava because of its juicy nature. Then Rakta Bija because of red colored seeds inside, right? Then Karaka because when you break open the fruit, the seeds will get dispersed, isn't it? When you break it and open it, all the seeds will come out and they get spread on the surface. So because of that, it is called Karaka. Then Rakta Pushpa, you all have seen the flower of Dadima. They are bright red in color and very attractive, right? So it is called Rakta Pushpa. And Shuka Vallabha. Shuka is parrot, and Vallabha. Shuka Vallabha means it is being liked by parrots. Okay. So these are some of the synonyms of Dadima. Then coming to the classical categorization, where all it has been mentioned. In Charaka Samhita, it has been mentioned as Hridya and Chardi Nigrahana. In Sushruta Samhita, it is mentioned in Parushakadigana. Parushakadigana is a group of drugs which has all different types of fruits. Draksha, Kharjura, Kashmariya, all fruits come under Parushakadigana. Even Parushaka is a fruit. So this Gana, even Dadima has been mentioned in this Gana by Acharya Sushruta and also by Acharya Vagbhata. Okay, when we see the history of Dadima, Dadima was first mentioned in Patanjali Mahabhashya. Okay, then it has been extensively used by people as a fruit. Okay, then when you see Bruhatrayis, we see the mentioning of Dadima. We find the usage of flowers, then seeds, the entire fruit, and also the fruit rind or the outer coat of the fruit. So all these parts are being used. Okay, for example, the fruit rind, the outer coat of the fruit, it is very effective in disorders of gastrointestinal system, that is Grahani, Atisara, then Pravahika. Okay, so in such conditions, the Phalatvak or the outer coat of the fruit is very useful. Then in Atisara and Grahani, it is the whole fruit is useful. Then the juice of the fruit is mentioned as Hridya. Then the flowers, I mentioned that flowers are also useful. So these flowers can be pounded and juice can be extracted, and this juice should be used as nasya in case of epistaxis. Epistaxis is nasagata raktapita, okay, bleeding through nose. So when you use the juice of flowers as nasya, the bleeding through nose stops immediately. Then coming to the varieties, as I mentioned earlier, Dadima is mainly having two varieties. One is Madhura, the sweet variety, and the second one is Amla or the sour variety. Acharya Kayyadeva and Bhava Mishra, the authors of Nighantus, they mention 3 types of dadima. That is Swadvamla, a mixture of sweet and sour, Madhura, sweet, and Amla, sour. But when we see the pomegranates which are available in the market now, there are a lot of varieties, isn't it? So there are hybrid varieties. We come across even seedless varieties of pomegranate nowadays, isn't it? So I don't know how far the classical varieties are applicable in the present era. So we need to explore the things now, right? Then coming to the botanical description, you all have seen Dadima plant, right? So Dadima, it is a shrub, or you can also say it as a small tree. It is deciduous, and it is having somewhat spinescent branchlets, right? The leaves are opposite or sometimes sub-opposite, but you see that the leaves will be arranged in different planes, okay? Then they are having very short petiole. The flowers are terminal or axillary, and they are always solitary. You don't see the flowers in bunches. The flowers will be solitary. Then they are large, showy. They are very pleasant to look at, isn't it? Red color, bright red color, large, showy. You feel very, very nice when you see the flower of Dadima. Then the calyx is coriaceous and it is persistent. You just see the fruit of Dadima, or you just remember a pomegranate fruit in your hand. Okay, you just imagine. So at one end you will find the persistent calyx, right? So below it will be fused, and above you will find the free segments of calyx, right? So this is nothing but persistent calyx. What happens in Dadima? The ovary is inferior. So the ovary is below all other parts of the flower. All petals, sepals, and rhizome, everything is above the ovary. The ovary is inferior. So when you see the fruit will be below, and above you will see persistent calyx, right? So this is an important thing you need to remember. Then what is the type of fruit in Dadima? Okay, so Dadima is a type of berry. It is also called as aggregate berry. Okay, and when you see the seeds are angular and coriaceous. Okay, then habitat, as we all know, pomegranate is cultivated throughout India, but it grows wildly in northwest region. Okay, then rasa. So we all know that Dadima is mainly having 3 varieties: Madhura, Madhura Amla, and Amla. So depending on that, it is having Madhura or Amla Rasa, but the most important rasa is Kashaya Rasa, because of which it is having astringent action in diseases like Atisara, Grahani, and Pravahika. Right? Then it is having Ushnavirya, Laghu, and Snigdha Guna. Okay, then Tridoshahara property. Dadima is having Tridoshahara action, and apart from that, it is Hrudya, right? Then Shukrala and also Grahi. Okay, so it is not Stambhaka, it is Grahi. You know the difference between Stambhana and Grahi. Stambhana is a Shitavirya Dravya which doesn't act on Agni, which doesn't do Amapachana, it only stops the Dravamala. Whereas Grahi is something which acts in both the ways. It also does Amapachana and it does Stambhana action. Okay, it stops the Dravamala Pravritti. Then, so depending on this action, all its actions are towards Sambhana. So it is having a very good activity in Raktapitta, Raktarshas, Raktatisara. Okay, so here all you can see Raktapitta, Rakta Arshas, and Raktatisara. Then it is also used in Jwara, Daha, and Trishna. Okay, Dadimadi Panaka or Dadimadi Hima, something is there, no? So which is used in Trishna, right? It it is Pittahara, so it will also act as Krishnahara. Then coming to the Amayika Prayoga, in Arshas, a ghee which is prepared with Dadima Swarasa and Yavakshara, it should be used internally. It helps to check the bleeding very immediately. Then Puya Meha is another condition wherein the outer coat of the fruit rind, it is used to prepare a kashaya, and it is administered orally along with sugar. Okay. Then the part used, as we all know, the whole fruit is used, the seeds are used, the fruit rind or the outer coat of the fruit is used, the bark is used, the floral bud is also used, right? Then the dosage should be, if you are giving the churna, it should be 3 to 5 grams. The fresh juice of the fruit should be given in the dosage of 20 to 50 ml, and kashaya should be given in the dose of 40 to 80 ml. Okay. Then important formulations of Dadima. Dadimashtaka Churna, it is the most important formulation which is very frequently used in gastrointestinal disorders, especially Atisara, Grahani, Pravahika. For that, Dadimashtaka Churna is a best preparation. Okay. And it is very easy to prepare also. You can prepare at your home. Okay, you have an assignment in the next class. You have to see the reference of the Adimashtaka Churna and you have to tell me the ingredients. Okay. Then another preparation is Bhaskara Lavana. Okay, it is a Lavana preparation. Bhaskara Lavana is a Churna preparation which is especially used in what you call Udavarta type of condition, where there is no proper movement of flatus. Okay. And there is also difficulty in bowel movements. So in that condition, Bhaskara Lavana is the drug or preparation of choice, and it should be given along with takra before food, right? Then Dadimadi Ghruta is the best preparation in Grahani. Okay. In Grahani, there are two most important drugs. One is Bilva and the other one is Dadima. You should always remember, whenever you come across a case of Grahani, you should remember two drugs. One is Bilva and the other one is Dadima. Okay. So Dadimashtaka Churna, Bhaskara Lavana, Dadimadi Ghruta, these are most important preparations for Grahani. Okay. Then coming to the chemical constituents, most important chemical constituent which is present in Dadima is tannin. Right? So tannin is well known for its astringent property. So this astringent action is what is needed in Atisara and Grahani. Okay. So apart from tannins, we have punicalin, then estrone, punicic acid, then glucosides. Different types of glucosides are there. Then ursolic acid is there. Okay. So then we have vitamin C. Okay. So especially in Amla Phala, you have vitamin C also. So these are the different chemical constituents. Then coming to the research updates of Dadima, the peel extract, the outer coat of the fruit, the extract was prepared from this outer coat, and it stimulated the spontaneous activity of isolated uterus in rat. Okay. So this is a very important finding which is also practically useful. Okay. So whenever there is any spontaneous abortion or threatened abortion, if you come across such cases, you can definitely try this, right? Then the fruit skin also has anti-fertility activity. Okay. Then antibacterial activity has been recorded in the fixed oil which has been separated from seeds and stem bark. Okay. Then these parts are also having antifungal activity. Maybe that is the reason this Dadima is effective in all types of Atisara. May it be bacterial dysentery or may it be any due to any food disturbances or maybe due to Agnimandya. So in all different types of Atisara, Dadima is very effective. Then the alcoholic extract is also having antihelminthic activity. See, so if there is any worm infestation, especially in small children, and because of that they are having the symptom of dysentery, so in that case also Dadima is going to help very much. So Dadimastaka Churna you should always keep in your clinic. It is a wonder remedy. Then aqueous extract of fruit skin is highly toxic. It has been found to be very toxic, leading to mortality in case of sparrows. Only for birds, but it is not toxic to any other animals, especially mammals. Okay. It is having relaxant effect on isolated ileum and also uterus in case of rabbits. Okay, it has a relaxing effect. So these are the research updates about Dadima. So if you have any doubts, you can ask. Otherwise, we will proceed to ask. I will proceed to ask the summarize. I mean, I will ask somebody to summarize. Anybody is having any doubt? If you are having any doubt, you can on your microphone and speak. Shall I ask somebody to summarize? Roll number 4. Roll number 4.
Yes, ma'am.
Shweta Chandana, summarize about Shweta Chandana. If you cannot remember, you can just see the book and tell me few things.
Ma'am, I don't have book.
You have not noted down while I was speaking?
Ma'am, no, I didn't get books, ma'am.
You also have some PDFs available in the group, no?
Ma'am, it's not opening.
Next time, make it a habit to note down some few points when I am speaking.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can mute your mic. Roll number 10. Roll number 10. Roll number 10, speak up. Good afternoon. Roll number 10.
Yes, ma'am.
What's your name?
Anushri.
Yeah, please summarize about Shweta Chandana.
Yes, ma'am. Chandana are of two types, Shweta Chandana and Rakta Chandana.
Yeah.
Shweta Chandana, botanical name, Santalum album, and family is the Santalaceae,
Yes.
and the vernacular name are Sandalwood, Srigandha,
Okay.
etc.
Some important indications of Chandana.
Okay, ma'am. Indications are Daha, Jwara, Kushta, Visarpa, Kandu, Trishna, Raktapitta.
Yes. Some formulations of Chandana.
Formulation are Chandanadi Grita, Chandanadi Taila, Chandana Asava, Chandanadi Kwata.
Okay. How do you use Chandana in Charbi?
Chandana with Amlaki Swarsa is given, ma'am.
Yes. Good. Okay. You can mute your mic.
Okay, ma'am.
Next. Roll number 15. 15 is not there. Roll number 16. Roll number 16. Come up. summarize about Dadima.
Hello.
Roll number 16.
Yes, ma'am. Dadima.
Summarize about Dadima.
Okay, ma'am. Its botanical name is Punica granatum, and family is Punicaceae, and its vernacular names are Anar, pomegranate, and Dalima, Danimacaya, and its classifications in Ganas, Cherakotha, Shushrukotha, Vagbhatokta.
Actions of Dadima.
Actions.
Yeah.
Ma'am, it is Hridya, Shukrala, and Grahi.
Yeah. Indications.
Ma'am, Raktapitta, Raktarsha, Jvara, Daha, Trishna, Rakta, Tisara.
Okay. What was the assignment I have given you regarding Dadima? Assignment. With respect to Dadima, I have given one assignment. This assignment is for all. I will ask randomly any student in the next class. You should be able to answer. I need the reference of Dadimashtika Churna. Okay. And ingredients and also the indication. Please note down Dadimashtika Churna reference, ingredients and indications. So next class, ask anybody able to answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Roll number 16, mute your phone.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So I have also sent the PowerPoint with respect to today's Draviguna practicals. So it deals with two drugs. One is Ikshvaku and the other one is, what is the other drug? Ishwari. Okay. So please go through the PowerPoint of these two drugs. These are very important drugs. Okay. Ikshvaku is one of the most important Vamana Dravya. It is mentioned in Charaka Kalpasthana, 3rd